on an electrical cable. And you stick it in there, and then when you pull, it was snug, and then you could pull that cable through the conduit. And it was different sizes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that it came up with that. Man, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, the smallest one we have is 20-pound test. It does the same thing.
There it is.
Yes, sir. Got 20, 30, 40, 50, 65, 80, 100, 130, 150, 200, 300.
Yeah. 300 is like for that big beast right there.
Yeah.
Is that how you just twisted it like that?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm doing now is just giving it the base wrap. This is actually a knot I designed about 15 years ago, and we call it the Anaconda knot.
Gotta bite, gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta learn. I'ma call the whole team.
You've seen the movie Anaconda, right? Yeah. When the anaconda gets a guy and it starts twerking on him like that. That's what this knot does. It actually it'll lock in on itself, and because it locks in on itself like that, it keeps the braid from slipping on the spool, so you don't get that snake-like pattern. Oh, what I do with that needle?
You had it in your mouth.
I did. Like, I just had it. Yeah. I know I didn't eat it because I'm full. Those two carnegie's eyes got me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, there it is on the floor.
Yeah, where y'all at? Alright, well, I'm right here at Hard Life, right across the road. I got one of my reels in here. They're spooling it for me. And I'll be right there. Yeah, get a table. Get a table. Alright, give me a little bit. Alright. My girl says, you can't go watch. I just got out of work, and I gotta go back. She said, you couldn't come to Flower Rough to watch your daughter play volleyball, but you can go spool.
Hey, when you got a good deal, you know.
I mean, I've never seen that. That's pretty neat. I got an open face there that I used. I took all my lines out because I was thinking, well, it could have been that I've had them. I think that reel I've had for a while, that Okuma.
Yeah.
I'll have you spool that too.
So the beauty of this line, it also has a longer shelf life on the reel.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen other lines last about 1 or 2 seasons, and they start to deteriorate on the reel. This stuff I've had on there for about 4 or 5 years, and it's still working great. Yes. Now obviously the top end of the line gets beat up, it gets worn, so I just replace the top end, but the inner core is perfect.
So all you do is splice it in with
I just splice it in, maintain my line capacity now. So it's going to cost up here originally,
right?
But after that, it's
just replace all that. Wow,
You don't
exactly.
have to replace all of it.
Get that other reel.
Yes, sir. Yep. When you save money and do it right the first time, it goes a long way.
Difference.
Alright, so we got
When I noticed his thing being empty, I was like, yeah.
It's time. It's time.
You said you hadn't filmed a few times, so that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
This is just kind of ready.
lighter class line and my heavier class line too. And here's another thing. Here's actually a good one right here. What we've done with a lot of people is like the first color of braid nearest the center of the spool, we'll do in one color, and then they're backing another color, and then their top shot, the higher class test line, another color. So that way when they're fighting the fish and they're getting closer, they know they're in their 80-pound test. Or if they got a monster fish that's winding them down like, oh shit, I hit my other color, I only got 65 yards of line left, I gotta shit or get off the pot, you know, do something, you know what I mean? Normally you have no idea where you're at, what you're doing, you're just waiting, okay, I see the leader, now I'm close. Or you're looking at the thickness of the spool. Yeah.
10 or whatever.
This gives you other markers that work into it, and since it's hollow core, the line, by me splicing in and doing the splices, doesn't weaken your line, it actually improves it. So yeah, but right here we're at 85 yards of line, so if you see that pink, you know you got 85 yards of line left. So now I can go to a different color. And do you like dark or light lines?
It makes me no difference. Whatever you want to put on.
Let's go with 65 and white.
That's nice when you see the different
Yeah,
colors
then
on
you know
there.
where you're at. Yeah.
And also sometimes like on the reels, like I've got a black reel, got the red line on it. It looks beautiful.
And how long has that
Hollow core been around? A long time. It has. But the reason why a lot of people didn't go to it or give it a chance is because it's really expensive. It was really expensive. Let me correct myself on that, because 20 years ago when I was shark fishing off of Bob Hall Pier, we were filling up reels and this and that. We always stuck to mono because we couldn't see the point in using any kind of braid, because we saw the thickness of it and we're like, dude, that's gonna pop or that's gonna break. And well, after a while we started trying it out, and damn, this stuff is strong. But you also learn that it has its kinks. One of the things with solid braid is it's very abrasive. It tries to eat through everything. Well, in certain instances it's awesome. Like if somebody else has another line out there, you tell them to move it, it doesn't want to move, and then you just let the line run, it cut them off, and you keep going, But when you have seaweed eat through your line, then it tells you it's too abrasive, but it's not strong enough to be sandpaper. Well, later on we learned you can't run it, solid braid straight by itself on the bottom, because the sand will eat it and then it cuts itself off. So you use monofilament top shots. Well, we heard of hollow core and we're like, man, we got into our own thought processes, and what we're used to running into with the solid braid, we started applying it to the hollow core, and we shot it down. But also hollow core was really expensive. It was like twice the cost of solid braid. Well, fast forward 20 years, now there's a lot of hollow core braids that are cheaper than solid braids.
Wow.
So for me, best bang for my buck, I go hollow core and I won't go back.
Wow.
Even though I own a shop and stuff like that and I can buy it like that, I still won't go back to mono. I won't go back to solid braid because I tournament fish. So for me, abrasion resistance is 1, line capacity is 2, the breaking strength 3, feeling that touch at a 1,800 yard drop and knowing, hey, something's messing with, like I could feel it at 1,800 yards out and know something's messing with my line. I'm already getting ready for the fight. You can't do that with mono.
Stretch.
Solid braid you can't do that with either, because you got to have mono top shot, or you get cut off too easily and stuff like that. So yeah. And then now, especially because now I can switch colors, put markers in my line by like the backing, the top shot, the inner core line, and or when I get cut off, like all of those reels, the big reels, you see how they're missing line, that they're not completely filled. So now I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna download, recheck my line to find any frays, which if I find a cut piece of my line, I just cut it, splice it, and keep adding more line. Yeah. And or I maintain my line capacity on there. I'll lose a few yards, but I'd rather lose a few yards than several hundred yards, because you get to the point you don't want to have this big old knot in your line, because you catch debris coming in, especially you're kayaking or droning baits. seaweed comes up the line, it catches that knot, and more and more and more, and soon you got to take it out.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah, and I've done that.
So no more knots.
Nice.
No more knots. Yes. So debris won't catch your line while it's in the water. So you have nothing to get cut off on this way. And now we can add more. So had a customer with a whole bunch of reels, wanted this, wanted that, wanted this, wanted that, and then they got an extremely horrible phone call, so they had to download everything and leave. Yeah, they had a death in the family. So I was like, oh crap! So I just started downloading it all on there. So, but all of this is 65-pound test. It's just all on one spool. But you can see where I was doing the splices of different colors for him,
Right.
and putting it all on there. I was like, you know what? I said, I'll put it on my gear. Like I tournament fish for like money on the line, $10,000 fishes at a time.
Wow.
So if I'm willing to put it on there, like I'll use it. I ain't scared. Not scared.
I knew he felt something. Otherwise, he wouldn't have backed it off like that.
That's the other thing. Like he was probably telling you, when we spool line here at our shop, we keep our fingers on the line, so we're looking for any kind of imperfections. And it may seem like we're going fast and we don't feel anything, but it's like on a highway and you can feel the little ribbles of the rock. It's the same thing for us. It's going fast, but you can feel that like a speed bump big time. So I was able to feel that little knot, and I stopped, and I was able to backtrack and get it off of there.
Now he's gonna slice it back in like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm. The only way you're gonna find it is if you actually have your fingers on the line the whole time. Otherwise, you won't even see it come through. Yeah. I was actually not even supposed to be here today. I was supposed to be up at San Saba.
Oh, really?
But we found out that the city has been giving the guys that are trying to rebuild a lot of crap, for permitting, because where their houses got flooded, they were part of what they call the floodplain, and I guess to rebuild or whatever, they need special permits and they have to do all these new upgrades. Well, a lot of these guys can't afford to rebuild at all. So we're gathering donations to get these families back into their homes and stuff, but now the permitting is what's put everything to the standstill. So we raised the first trip up there was about $10,000 worth of materials and stuff like that we got for them. But now, like, I talked to the lady up there, I'm like, okay, I need specific items or materials that y'all need. Like, is it nothing but sheetrock, or do y'all need nothing but paint? Do you need insulate? Like, I don't want to flood them with, a million cases of water when that's not what they need. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So she said she's gonna get with the contractors that are still up there, and they'll get me a list of items that they need so they can get families back into their homes. Because right now they got at the start of this, they had 110 families that were displaced.
Wow.
So yeah. Yeah, we went up there with the Big Bertha crew, and they took they had donations to feed families while we were up there. So we took donations to help them, but they actually took donations to feed them while we were out there and stuff like that. So yeah, so all day long they had a continuous, like, it would die down to like 4 or 5 people, but it would get up to like 50 or 80 people in the line and stuff like that. And we kept doing it all day long. So So now.
Can't even see it.
Yep. So just gotta make sure I'm not caught up on anything. Nope, wrong way. That's already 80. Either 80 or 100. One of the two. No, that's 80. But I gotta. If I have any kind of doubt, I triple check, quadruple check. Just making sure.
He's good at that. He really is good.
Yeah, good eyesight and see if that digging to that side. Yeah, I don't think.
No, that's 65 again. Alright. I can keep going because what I'm trying to do, you see that inner bevel right there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get it to level with that, and then from there to the top bevel, I'm going to put your 80-pound test line on. It gives you two markers besides having the top shot a different color, but that bevel is another one for you too, so that way, like if you break off or whatever and you're losing some of your line, when you start seeing that bevel, you know you're close to your backing.
Right.
Your backing is your savings account. You don't ever want to use that. The top end is your checking account, which you inflow day in, day out. But obviously that savings account is set up so when you hook a monster fish, he wants to run, you got plenty of line. Right now we're sitting at 280 yards of 65 on the reel. So. 325 yards. Now, alright, so for 80, I know I got red, I've got a dark green, that's all I got is red and a dark green. I used to have a lot of pink. Oh yeah. Pink.
Oh, you already used pink.
Yeah, I already used pink, yeah. So red or dark green are your two choices.
Yeah, you can go either way, however you want to do it. It's pretty much an eye-opener for me.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. And it's same for me. Like when I started dealing with the Avid reels, compared to Pin, Shimano, Newell, Ambassador, Lose, I had 27 rod and reel combos. I sold or gave away a lot of them just so I can get more Avids. And slowly I've been working my tackle back up to fill up all my rods. I'll eventually get there, but it takes time. And the only reason you're going to see this is because it's obviously two different colors.
Right. Right. I must not be paying attention when I'm reading those magazines because I haven't even seen, or maybe I'm just not paying attention on the hollow, on that hollow line.
The hollow core braids.
Yeah.
You know?
They don't talk about it. Because I keep up with the magazines too.
I got that saltwater angle that I get, and I don't know. And like I said, this is kind of new. I just started messing with a drone. I've always been out in the beach, and, like I was in Sabine Pass, and some bull reds and what have you. I caught a couple of the same sharks, but I'd get out there maybe 130 yards at the most, and then that's it. And then start getting into it. All that stuff. Yeah. Try something else.
Here we go. Nope, wrong
And
one.
you also that you won't be changing this now. Whenever I come back to, because I live in New York, so I only come here once a year. But when I do, I always fill it back up. $20 to fill up, up to that ridge, like you said.
Right.
Do cut it off, I'm not losing it very much at all.
Right.
420 yards. And here's the other kicker on top of it. So this is 80-pound braid, right? Well, what I do is on the tippet, I braid it back in on itself. So now it doubles up the line strength. So now when you tie up to your leader, you're at a 160-pound test. Because you know how leaders are and your lines right by the leader, it hits the rocks, it hits
Right.
the jetties, it hits the boat, whatever it hits, that's the part that gets beat up the most. But I double it back in on itself right here, so it gives all of our customers that much more cushion. Yeah, so now your tippet from this loop all the way to right there, this is 160-pound test. So when you tie up to your leader,
Right.
you're connected. You are connected. And I don't see a clip for it. I don't see a line clip for it. 420 yards, actually 422 basically.